The Swope Park Rangers have fallen on tough times in the early stages of their inaugural season. They return home to try and halt a 3-game slide. In order to do so, they'll need to defeat the team they last beat, the Tulsa Roughnecks. It's USL Soccer, coming to you live from Kansas City, Missouri, and beautiful Swope Soccer Village. The Swope Park Rangers host Tulsa Roughnecks FC. I'm Carter Augustine. Alongside me today is Chad Reynolds as we get ready to bring you this game on a really beautiful evening here in Kansas City, Missouri. And Chad, Swope Park Rangers looking to arrest a 3-game slide.
Yeah, and you know, it's really kind of two teams trying to right the ship. Tulsa coming in off a big win last week in Seattle, but before that they were winless in 6.
And here's the lineup for the Tulsa Roughnecks FC, a traditional 4-4-2.
Yeah, and what I'm really interested to see what happens here is we know they're a very direct team. We know Tulsa really likes to go through Sammy Ochoa up top, but Gus Villalobos there, a new man, just signed this week. He's played professionally in Sweden, played professionally in Malta, young guy. Very interested to see what he brings to this lineup. We don't really know what kind of a player he is. And then in goal, kind of a change for the Roughnecks this week, Jake Feener, who battled with Swope Park Rangers man Zach Lubin last year for the starting job, getting the start today.
And conversely, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the home side, Swope Park Rangers. And Chad mentioned that man, Zach Lubin, who, of course, spent last year with Tulsa as their team captain. He battled Jake Feener all last season for a starting job, and he gets the nod tonight for the Rangers.
Yeah, Zach Lubin getting his first start of the year, and his family's here in town. We heard his dad's a big Boston Red Sox fan. The Boston Red Sox in town this week. Big night for Zach Lubin. Coach Mark Dos Santos really, really likes him. He says, you know, John Kempen's been sent down here to be the goalkeeper for Swope Park Rangers from Sporting Kansas City, the parent club, but Zach Lubin has earned the job tonight, and it's not that John Kempen's done anything wrong, it's that Zach Lubin's been that good in training also. And then up top, you've got Daniel Shallowy coming back into the starting lineup for Swope Park Rangers. Really, really needs to impress tonight. He's a guy who Sporting Kansas City expects big things from going forward. Big night, big opportunity for Daniel Shallowy tonight.
It's a big night for Swope Park Rangers as they try to get a win and end this 3-game streak at home. Stay with us as we'll be right back to bring you the first half kickoff. And thanks for joining us here from Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City, Missouri. It's the Swope Park Rangers get ready to face Tulsa Roughnecks FC. I'm Carter Augustine, joined again by Chad Reynolds. So we get ready to bring you this USL action here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, turning into evening. Coach Mark Dos Santos on the sidelines, checking his watch as the referee blows his whistle and gets the game underway. Swope Park Rangers starting with the ball, traveling from right to left in their home blue and dark blue stripes. They'll immediately send it back to the debutant Amir Jidic, making his first professional start for the Swope Park Rangers tonight. Now Tyler Pasher on the ball. He'll drop it back to the veteran Tommy Meyer. And already you can see Swope Park Rangers trying to poke and prod at this 4-4-2, set up in 2 banks of solid 4 here. Walefi now looking for the long ball over in the corner for Christian Duke. Just couldn't keep that in play, and it'll be a throw into the Roughnecks.
Yeah, but Carter, I think that's a pretty good example of what Swope Park Rangers are going to try and do tonight. They know what kind of a team Tulsa is, and I think that was move the ball around and then see if you can break it with the switch to the other side of the field.
Throw in up towards the target forward, Sammy Ochoa. Our head man in the middle tonight is Michael Laverne. Assistant referees Ryan Cook and Shane Kennard. And then the 4th official on the sideline, Ricardo Gutierrez. Now Tyler Pasher trying to carry the ball forward. It's a good tackle there from Pellegrino. And Adriano Pellegrino checking his knee. Might have taken a knock there on the challenge. The Roughnecks will get play restarted and up towards Sammy Ochoa is trying to post up Gidic. I think, Chad, that's going to be a battle we're going to see all night long.
Those are two big boys who are going to have a physical battle. Sammy Ochoa, a fairly experienced guy, played in Major League Soccer with Seattle Sounders. He's coming off of back-to-back braces for the Tulsa Roughnecks. And Gidic, while he might be, making his debut this year, he's a big physical specimen back there. And I know Swope Park Rangers really expect big things out of him.
Tomas Granito with the big switch to the right side. That's Jimmy Mulligan pushing up from his right back position. Drop it back to Tommy Meyer. Now Tommy Meyer will dribble forward, looking for someone to show. You can see already, Chad, not too much of a high press from the visitors.
Now very, very compact defensively. There's a lot of space wide if Swope Park Rangers can switch the field, but
Tyler Pasher did a good job there to just get a toe in before the challenge and earn an early free kick for Swope Park Rangers here on the near touchline.
Tulsa almost inviting the pressure, Carter. It seems like they're looking to try and force SPR into those wide channels. Pasher has a big left foot here. Kevin Oliveira also serves in a nice ball. He would be the right-footed option. And look for that new man, Amir Gidic, on the back post.
Plenty of big bodies up in the box for Swope Park Rangers. It looks like Oliveira will take command here of this set-piece situation. Pasher walking towards the middle of the field. Whistle from the referee, Michael Laverne. And that's a great dipping ball towards this penalty spot. Just couldn't get that telling touch at the end. But that was a good set-piece delivery from 88 Oliveira.
That's really, really dangerous stuff. If Daniel Shallowy gets any sort of a touch on that ball at all, that's really trouble for Jake Feener, the goalkeeper for Tulsa. He's kind of nobody went with Daniel Shallowy. So if that ball gets through and Shallowy gets, like I said, anything on that ball as we look at it here, just inches away, and Feener's kind of off in no man's land waiting for a touch there. Luckily, it bounces through and straight to his hands.
Just inches away, and like you said, Chad, any touch there, I think, directs that ball in the back of the net. Meanwhile, a handball infraction was spotted by the referee. And so now Tulsa will get a chance to pile the big bodies forward. And of course, they're a team that's very strong in the air. But Swope Park Rangers, confident in their set-piece defending ability, they'll have an early test here just in the 5th minute.
And at the risk of jinxing things, if Swope Park Rangers not giving up a goal on a set-piece this year, but Tulsa's a big team.
Adriano Pellegrino swinging it in, and a challenge at the back stick. It's good work there from Gidic. He was able to hold off the on-rushing Anthony Peters coming up from his center back position. And earns the foul for the Rangers. And now Zach Lubin making his first appearance for Swope Park Rangers against the team he captained for last season. Big opportunity for 26-year-old from Bozeman, Montana. Now Walefi, nice little step over. We'll give it to Kevin Oliveira, who spots Christian Duke and plenty of space along the left sideline. Oliveira does well to keep that in play. And now Rangers will try and switch it to the right side of the field. First touch for Chris Tierpak. He tries to take on a defender and is muscled off by a strong double team by the men in orange. Then a poor touch. And it's out of bounds for the Roughnecks. Of course, Tulsa coming off a very impressive away victory against Seattle Sounders, too, to arrest their own little streak of a tough run. These two teams down near the bottom of the Western Conference in 12th and 13th place.
Yeah, down near the bottom of the Western Conference, but as Coach Mark Dos Santos told us yesterday, this conference is so tightly packed and so competitive that anybody can get up there. And frankly, either of these teams with 3 points tonight puts themselves right back in the middle of the pack.
It's early days, of course, in this USL season, and now Shallowy trying to dribble in. Did well to lure the challenge. Looked like that was Belubi getting in there just a little bit late on the tackle. And Shallowy does well to pick up a foul, and this will be a dangerous set piece.
Yeah, he's kind of just carrying the ball until somebody challenges him, and then Belubi comes in from behind and clips the heel. But these are the exact kind of opportunities Swope Park Rangers are looking for.
Standing over the ball, Oliveira again, who just whipped in that really good ball on the last set piece opportunity. This is even more of a dangerous position. Joining him is Tomas Granito, and he's known to have a cannon of a shot. They'll lay it off for Granito, who does hit a fierce shot right at the feet of Jake Fiener. Looked to trick Fiener there with a little bit of topspin on the ball, and perhaps a bit lucky, the Roughnecks keeper, to not watch that one deflect off him and go in the back of the net.
Yeah, Jake Fiener, I think either fooled by the movement on the ball, or a player stepping in front of him, and not necessarily a wall, but a player stepping in front of him, or some combination of the two. But Fiener doing all he can just to get a hand down, and as we take a look at this here, nice little slow touch. Oh, that ball moved a ton. I don't even think there's a player in front of him. I think Fiener's just fooled by the way the ball bit back on him, but does okay to get a hand on the ball. Shouldn't spill it that much, but covers it before anybody can get in there.
Bit of a battle in the back for Swope Park Rangers, as the long ball from Fiener did try to cause some confusion along the Rangers' back line, but in the end they're able to clear. That'll be a throw-in along this near sideline for David Abidor to take. Looking for someone to show for him. It's a good run from Sammy Ochoa, but sniffed out well by Cidic. Pasher now. That's a clever ball from Oliveira, and Swope Park Rangers can start a counterattack really quickly with the correct ball, but just a little too heavy from Shallowy. You can see the quality there in Oliveira's pass.
Well, and that's exactly what Coach Mark Dos Santos is looking for from Kevin Oliveira, and then from his two wide guys, Chris Tierpak and Jacob Pasher. Tierpak on his own out there, if that ball finds him, he's much faster than the Tulsa backline. Just the ball kind of in that middle ground between the goalkeeper and Tierpak, but that's exactly the kind of quick break the Swope Park Rangers are looking for.
Yeah, you'll have to watch out. Those two wingers for the Rangers, pace to burn, and it's a handball perhaps called here by referee Michael Laverne, but Daniel Shallowy, a missed opportunity there. He had plenty of time and space. It looked like a 3-on-2 counterattack chance, but he just overhit his ball. Let's see if we'll get another opportunity to play a similar pass later on in the game. Long ball is one in the air by Peters, and now a foul and a push in the back. It'll be a free kick just on the halfway line for Tulsa.
It's a pretty light whistle, but I think referee Michael Laverne making it pretty clear to these guys early on, hey, the little stuff that's kind of below the shoulders and the little hands in the back on challenges in the midfield, those aren't going to fly tonight.
It was a physical game between these two teams in the first meeting this season down in Tulsa, which Rangers were able to come away with a 2-1 win. See if that physicality continues over to tonight's game. It's a delivery from Pellegrino up towards the edge of the box. Now Pasher wins the first ball, but good work. It's still a battle for possession, and Oliveira comes away. Just tries to touch it around the defender, but it's a good challenge in the end. Looked like that was a new man, Villalobos, tracking back from his forward position. And Chad, you were wondering, what are we going to see from this player? So we don't know much about him, just signed this week.
Yeah, he's a guy who came over, like we said in the pregame, as we get a chance here.
Tierpak with a good delivery from the left foot on the right side and headed away for the game's first corner.
But yeah, back to Villalobos. I mean, he's a guy who's played in Sweden. He just came over last week, played a match in the Premier League in Malta, and just joined Tulsa. They listed him as a midfielder in the press release, listed him as a forward on the starting 11 today. They're kind of wondering if he's going to play in behind Ochoa, who's a true target forward up top. And you can see him already tracking back early.
And he'll have to do some defensive duties here as he's inside the box, as is every other Tulsa player, to try and defend this corner, which Tyler Pasher will take with an in-swinging left foot towards the back stick, but right on the hands of Fiener, and he's able to claim that one pretty easily. Pretty tame corner from the first opportunity for Tyler Pasher.
And if you're going to have a chance there, and I think Pasher might have actually been having a go at the goal there, you got to put somebody on the goalkeeper. Somebody's got to get up there and challenge that ball. That's a little too easy for Jake Fiener.
Perhaps having seen Fiener spill the free kick opportunity early, trying to test his hands with another chance shortly after. And his punt goes all the way out of bounds, and while Leffie will take the throw in. Smart play from Granito, who felt the pressure from Kyle McLeod, also relatively new signing for the Roughnecks. Now the ball is with Tierpak, and he gets it ripped off of him by McLeod and played off of him out of bounds. Good work there from Kyle McLeod, who was signed last week just before a 2-game road stretch and wound up starting both games for the Roughnecks.
And then back in again this week. It's a we were talking with the Roughnecks radio broadcaster prior to the match tonight, and he said we didn't know anything about him, and then he started 2 matches in a row, and they seem to really like him.
Starts his 3rd match in a row after signing, so manager David Irving must see something. Now a whistle as that ball trickled over the line in the end. Quick flag from the near side assistant referee. Be a throw in for Tulsa in their attacking half. Christian Duke tries to clear. It's a clever little chest pass from Henry. Now Duke looking for the overlap, but the pass is intercepted. That's a loose pass back towards the center circle. McLeod did well to maintain possession, but now that possession is lost, and Rangers will look to counter quickly. Peters did well there under the pressure of Shallowy, and the Roughnecks will drop it all the way back to their goalkeeper. It's a smart touch from Oliveira to get the game a little more settled, and now Tyler Pasher will have a one-on-one run at the right back. Abidor, who does well to deflect that cross, but it'll go out of bounds again, this time for a corner on the near side.
And you see the pace there again from Tyler Pasher. We saw it earlier from Chris Tierpak. That is something that it appears Swope Park Rangers think they've got a clear advantage in speed out wide between their outside wing forwards and the Tulsa Roughneck outside backs.
So Tyler Pasher has a run with that speed, earns a corner, and this time it'll be Oliveira to take. A little stutter step, and now it's a set piece that we saw them work on in training. Deliver it back to Oliveira from a different angle, and that ball is just a little too long. Well defended in the end by the Roughnecks, as it was a short corner routine, and I think the main option was try to slip Tyler Pasher in, but he was covered up by a Roughneck defender.
Yeah, his defender actually, whether he meant to or not, kind of dropped off him and started marking space rather than the man, but it took away the set piece play that Swope Park Rangers thought they had on there.
15 minutes in, still 0-0 to score. As the sun descends, as run out of sunlight here in a little bit, but it's a beautiful night in Kansas City.
A little windy, a little breezy, especially where we are up on top of the roof of a press box, with a great view of the field, but catching some wind up here. But it's for mid-May in Kansas City, this is fantastic weather.
Lubin now forced to punt it up. You can see the wind catch that ball in the air. Tomas Granito does well. That's a clever little pass off the thigh by Daniel Shallowy.
You see the glimpses from Daniel Shallowy. You see the technical skill that's just, it's there, and you can see it on the surface, and the question is, can it stay there and be consistent?
Of course, he's the leading goal scorer and assist maker on this team. He's averaging a goal and assist every 38 minutes, so we'd like to see him continue that type of form over a start. That's a great tackle, as Christian Duke tried to get past Abidor, and Abidor was having none of that. In the end, the ball out is not a good one, and Swope Park Rangers can restart their attack.
Yeah, but even if that ball finds Ochoa, he's going 1v5 there. He's kind of on an island up there right now.
Fancy footwork from Shallowy. He'll drop it back to Granito, and he'll have a rip. It's blocked by Henry. Had some steam on it. We talked with Mark Dos Santos, and he pointed out that he wants Granito to shoot more, and I think we've seen that in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, he said, he's got a big shot out to the 18, but he's got to be confident with a nice run by Kevin Oliveira.
It's a great run, and he's found by Christian Duke, and now he gets it on the return. Duke now charging in the box. He'll lay it off for Pasher, who tries the first-time cross. It's defended by Abidor. A little bit of a ping-pong in the back there from the Roughnecks, and in the end, they'll just clear it out for another Swope Park Rangers corner.
And already, Carter, seeing a lot more movement from the Swope Park Rangers front 6 guys than we've seen the last few matches. And part of that's the way Tulsa's sitting, but but just the movement hasn't been there the last few weeks, and we're seeing it right now.
Oliveira now again from this near side corner. He'll whip it in towards the near post. He doesn't beat the first man, and that'll go out of bounds for a throw.
Two balls on the field is going to delay us here for a minute.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Now, Swope Park Rangers will work it around the back. And now Tierpak coming inside. Plenty of space here on the near side for Christian Duke. If Walefi can find him, just can't reach him with the searching ball. But Tyler Pasher alert to clean that up, and again, the Rangers will build from the back.
The space on the switch is there. If Walefi can get his head up earlier and play that ball quicker, Christian Duke is wide and on his own with opportunities galore.
It's a very compact Tulsa setup right now. The two lines of four and the new man Villalobos dropping back to make it 9 in defense. Now Mulligan trying to probe his way through that 9-man defense. Tierpak picking up the loose ball, trying to cut inside the double team, but it's good defense in the end. Now Sammy Ochoa trying to post up, and he's going to have a tough job all night long if those are the type of balls he's given.
Yeah, there's just no help for him right now. I mean, everybody's 20, 25 yards away. Even if he wins that ball, his only opportunity is to go backwards, which is fine, but he's got to have somebody coming forward to help. Otherwise, they're just going to win the ball at midfield all day.
Clever slip pass from Pasher in towards the box from Duke. And this left side combination is really causing a lot of problems for the Tulsa Roughnecks right now in the early stages.
Well, and part of me wonders watching what Tulsa's doing, and as we talked earlier, they're kind of inviting the width from Swope Park Rangers, but what they're doing with their compactness is they're forcing movement out of the wingers, out of Jacob Pasher, out of Chris Tierpak, and that's what we've not seen from Swope Park. They've been relatively stagnant when they're not countering the last few months, or last few weeks, last few matches, and we're seeing it today. There's movement there, and whether that's their own choice or because Tulsa's basically forcing them into it, it's creating chances so far.
Now the Rangers, again with possession in their defensive half. Just working along the back line. The two center backs spread wide to invite the ball. It's good pressure from the visitors in orange, and they'll force a long ball from Tommy Meyer. One back for the Roughnecks. And now David Abidor will take it along in the near sideline. And his pass is wayward and out of bounds.
And I don't know if we caught it on camera there, but Henry, as he played that ball back to his center backs, imploring his team to settle it down and to chill it out, and kind of giving the worldwide signal for, hey, let's possess the ball, and then they immediately give the ball right away.
They haven't seen a whole lot of the ball in this opening 20 minutes, have the Roughnecks. They're on it now, and Henry, as you mentioned, trying to calm things down, and that'll do a world of good as he plays a nice ball out to the left side. And now the overlap from Chenerazzo, but his pass is intercepted well in the back. And that's a nice move from Tyler Pasher to get around the challenge and earn a free kick to relieve some of that pressure, and that is perhaps the best attacking move so far for the Roughnecks.
Well, it was also their first kind of sustained spell of possession. You know, it's the first time we've seen them string 2 or 3 passes together, and as soon as they did that, opportunities came. You know, everything's not route 1 through Ochoa, which is what we've seen so far tonight.
So Tommy Meyer now will stand over this free kick. He's going to pass it back to the goalie, but perhaps telegraphed it a little too much, and Ochoa was alert. So he'll resort to playing it along the sideline, and that's not a good delivery, and it's out of bounds.
That's a tough ball in this wind, too. I mean, the wind's holding anything up going that direction.
Yeah, if you can see the flags on that far side, that wind is whipping in the face of Swope Park Rangers in this first half. And in our faces here, top of the press box as well. It's a good touch there in the midfield from Pellegrino. But tackled away now from Oliveira as he tries to work through the double team and draws another foul. Quick feet, Kevin Oliveira, the Cape Verde international. He's in camp with the Blue Sharks before this season.
And Kevin Oliveira, as you see kind of working his way through traffic there. Kevin Oliveira, a guy who came over from Benfica's B team. Really talented player, young guy. I know he's on the radar for Sporting Kansas City as a guy that they think has the potential to maybe make it in MLS, but he's got to work through it here at this level and figure it out. He, again, like we mentioned with Daniel Shallow, he has flashes where he's just brilliant, but he's just not putting it together for 90 minutes at a time right now.
Good work from our cameraman there along the sideline, protecting that expensive gear. The ball was just a little too heavy for Christian Duke. Now David Abidor, who's had his share of throw-ins along this near sideline. It's a good flick from Ochoa. Villalobos just a half step behind, and the Rangers can retake possession again.
Go inside, man. Inside.
Now on the right with Mulligan. And Oliveira looking for the big diagonal up towards Chris Tierpak. His chested touch lets him down. Let's see what the Roughnecks can do with possession now. It's Pellegrino with a wild pass back to his center back. Just has to clear it up towards Ochoa. It's a back and forth possession battle here. No one really able to take hold of it, but Henry looking all the calm and assured he was telling his teammates to be early on.
Yeah, and as the Roughnecks go forward, well, as they retreat now with the ball, but as they've gone forward now, it's kind of their midfield shape is really coming into shape. It's almost a Belubi and Henry. It's almost a 4-2-3-1 of sorts, with Belubi and Henry kind of holding and possessing, and then Villalobos up just directly supporting Ochoa.
Now we see them in attack as Henry drives forward. He'll pass it back to Belubi. Now Peters with a lofted attempt up towards the head of Ochoa. Gidic with a towering header, and they're going to whistle him for a foul, clambering into the back of Sammy Ochoa just on the edge of the box, and this will be a fantastic opportunity 24 minutes in for the visitors to have an attempt on goal.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of subtlety in the play of either Gidic or Ochoa here, but I think Gidic actually wins that ball. There's a shoulder down, but I think that's probably a no call and just let him play on, especially since Tulsa's got the ball at their feet there. But this is a dangerous chance.
It's a very, very appealing opportunity for the Roughnecks. Straight on the center of the frame, just outside the edge of the D. Go with the left footed here, you could go with the right footed here. Zach Lubin will have his work cut out for him, trying to figure out what Sammy Ochoa is going to do over this free kick. Pellegrino lining up and makes a run, and now Ochoa just fires it at the wall. It's blocked. Oh, now Ochoa lays it over the top. Villalobos getting onto it. He'll pass it back towards the 6, and it's cleared away. A nice defensive header, and now the Rangers can push out as Tulsa look to try and restart their attack, but are unable to along the far sideline.
It's a nice little look from Ochoa to realize that Villalobos is wide there and kind of in behind. Shouts for offside, but I don't think he actually was in the end. Here you see the little chip to the back post. And it's a good ball from Villalobos, but Gidic just does a really nice job of cutting that out and winning it with the head.
Looked like Christian Duke made the block on the initial attempt from Ochoa. Good work from the Swope Park Rangers captain, so that thing had steam on it heading towards Zach Lubin's goal.
Yeah, and Lubin's probably pretty blinded by his wall there. There's not a whole lot he can do if that's on frame unless it's hit somewhere near him.
Now a battle in midfield and a legal battle as determined by Michael Laverne. It's Jimmy Mulligan able to draw the foul, on loan from the New York Cosmos, and he started every single game for Swope Park Rangers thus far.
He's also got maybe my favorite name in the league.
Try it again.
Jimmy Mulligan.
Yeah. That's hopefully the last of our Mulligan jokes this afternoon. Over the top from Oliveira. And dealt with nicely in the back by Matthew Watley. Quick restart from the Rangers. It's Granito looking up for Chris Tierpak, and again, his first touch lets him down. Now Villalobos looks to get the Roughnecks attack started. It's a clever through ball from McLeod. But Ochoa will just lay things off for his fullback and race up top to post up on Tommy Meyer.
Villalobos coming deep again to win that ball, and then played a wide ball to the overlapping left back. Didn't get it through, but it seems like that's kind of going to be his modus operandi tonight, is come in deeper, win that ball, and that way they don't have to go route one through Sammy Ochoa.
Now Granito, that's a nice slicing pass along the turf. And he'll get it back, looking for a few forward runners. I don't know if Oliveira meant that, but it does come off for Pasher. Now Shallowy will turn and have a fire at goal, and that forces a save. It's a fantastic shot from Daniel Shallowy, almost out of nowhere, and Jake Fiener reacts well to tip it over his crossbar.
Yeah, and both center backs there for Tulsa just kind of backing away as Daniel Shallowy is given time and space to turn and hit that with the left foot as we look at it here. Receives, look at all that space he's got to shoot that. There's no center back challenging. Fiener sees it the whole way, does a nice job of getting fingers on it. But that's a really nice chance for Swope Park Rangers.
It's a good rip from Shallowy. It was going to nestle in the top of the net, if not for Fiener's intervention. And now Tyler Pasher will take the ensuing corner. Swings it in onto the head of Fiener. This time he elects to punch. It drops for Oliveira on the edge of the box. Now he's trying to get around the defender, but good defense from the forward Ochoa, who will now get the ball, and the Roughnecks try and counter. They don't really have numbers, but see what Villalobos can do against Tommy Meyer. It's a good sliding challenge from Meyer to usher that one out of bounds.
I think Kevin Oliveira thought he had an easy touch around Sammy Ochoa, and then he touched it not quite wide enough. And Sammy Ochoa is a big, strong man, and Kevin Oliveira is a very small man. Kind of ran into a brick wall.
And that's a good layoff, as now maybe the wrong option. Kyle McLeod had a nice 1-2 along the edge of the box and perhaps should have elected to shoot there. Instead, he tries to pass it, and it's snuffed out at the last second by the Rangers. But here come the Roughnecks again, in towards Ochoa. It's flicked away by Gidich. Good win in the air. It was a one-on-one battle, and now Christian Duke wins the second ball. But it's not clear yet. That's a really fantastic ball up towards the edge of the 6. And what a fantastic opportunity again from McLeod. This time it was a ball from the back. Looked like perhaps Matthew Watley over the top. And that's 2 chances for McLeod in succession inside the 6 area. And Zach Lubin perhaps breathing a sigh of relief as he grabs the ball and brings it back towards his goal kick. But here we watch the replay, off the chest and over. What a chance for the Roughnecks.
And McLeod kind of just waited on that ball a little too long. He let it hop up on the half volley, as you see it here again. Yeah, he's leaning back, and that ball's coming up, and Zach Lubin shouting for offside. I actually think it's a really, really nice ball and a really nice run from Tulsa Roughnecks there. McLeod does well to make the run. He's just got to do better with the chance. Put that on frame.
Perhaps he thought he was offside with all the time and space he had inside the area. But what a glorious opportunity. And now, will they be made to pay? No, they won't, because it's a fantastic tackle in the end from Matthew Watley as Chris Tierpak was running in on goal.
Yeah, Watley kind of reaching, but behind himself almost there, because Tierpak was trying to cut in behind him. But that's a really, really solid tackle. Just kind of sticks his foot out and holds it and gives Tierpak nowhere to go.
So Tulsa Roughnecks able to withstand some early Swope Park Rangers pressure and carve themselves out 2 of the best chances of the game here in the last couple minutes. The score, however, remains 0-0 after 30 minutes of play. Slip in midfield from Henry, but it doesn't cost his team as Watley was alert in the back. Now Granito looking for Oliveira, who just let it run perhaps a little too much. Pellegrino looking over the top. Smart header down from Tommy Meyer.
Carter, you have to wonder if all the space that they're being allotted or allowed is letting the Swope Park Rangers outside backs get too far forward, and it's almost like it's a 2 center backs back at all times, but that's not how you want to defend with just 2 center backs, especially against an experienced guy like Sammy Ochoa, the reigning USL Player of the Week. Maybe the outside backs need to kind of one run at a time.
Here's one of those outside backs, Jimmy Mulligan, lofting a teasing cross towards the head of Chris Tierpak, but it's easy for Jake Fiener to come and claim. Senior now hunting up towards Kyle McLeod, who is adjudged to have shoved Mulligan in the back, and the Rangers will get a free kick inside their own half.
That's something that Laverne's called 3 or 4 times now. I mean, he's made that very clear. No contact on the challenges throughout the midfield, especially in the air.
He's been very consistent on that in this first half. Pasher now giving it to Shallowy, who has come out wide left to try and find some space. Touches it around the defender. Now right along the byline. Gets a good cross in towards the feet of Oliveira, but well defended by the Roughnecks.
Well, that's good stuff from Shallowy, but you have to wonder if he's better served to be more central in the field there.
That's a poor giveaway from Walefi, and maybe there's a 2-on-3 breakaway now for the Roughnecks, and maybe a 2-on-2. It's Villalobos charging in, a little step over. He tries to get a shot away, Walefi retreating and makes up for his blunder, but that could have been a costly giveaway. Walefi getting back on the ball, and he'll lay it off to Oliveira. Ball over the top for Shallowy. Did he time his run? No, it's offside. Getting to the game through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. So, Chad, you had mentioned before the game, Daniel Shallowy likes to find that left inside channel, and we've seen him move out there here in the past 5 minutes or so, just offside on that run just moments ago.
Well, and that's something we saw him do against Vancouver Whitecaps here at home, and it looks like Pasher is slotted in as kind of the number 9, the target forward.
Ball over the top from Pellegrino. Some contact in the box. Villalobos looking up towards the referee, and Sammy Ochoa asking the assistant referee where the foul was. And there's the foul in the middle of the field as Anthony Peters had charged up from his center back position past the center circle and broke up play. See a replay of this foul in midfield. As on the other end of the field now, Tyler Pasher making a run along the right-hand side, and he earns another corner kick for the Swope Park Rangers. Their 5th or 6th of the first half so far, and see if they can carve out a chance from this one.
And none of them have been dangerous thus far. I mean, corners, but no chances from them. Everything way too easy for the goalkeeper for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Pasher with the left-footed in-swinger up towards Gidic's head. He just mistimed his jump. Was won in the end by Peters. The ball finds its way to the feet of Pasher again. He'll whip it towards the far post, and there's Gidic again. He heads it down. Tommy Meyer with a chance, and he blazes over, and that was the best chance of the game for the Swope Park Rangers.
Well, Coach Mark Dos Santos told us that part of the reason Gidic was in there today, Omar Ballo out with the suspension, but part of the reason Gidic is in there today, he's their best center back in the air, and you see him challenging for 2 headers here. He wins this second one, and the ball, I don't think Tommy Meyer's quite, well, he looks like he's ready. He's a center back for a reason, and that's the kind of ball that he's trying to turn on and hit with his left foot on a short notice, and doesn't get a chance to get it on frame.
It's a good knockdown, perhaps a tough height for Meyer to get his leg over it. A step over along the far side from McLeod. Some contact with Mulligan, who's waving his hand for a foul. As that ball's lofted up towards Ochoa. He catches it in the face, and Pellegrino takes it on the volley, but it's straight at Zach Lubin. Ochoa maybe with a unlucky bit of attacking play there as the clearance bounced off his face, but he might have claimed an assist if that wound up going in the net. Oliveira now letting the ball run past Henry and about to run out of bounds, so he draws the foul. Quick restart from the Rangers. Walefi, the searching ball to switch play with Jimmy Mulligan. Granito back with Walefi. Has his head up, looking for first the run of Duke, now the run of Chris Tierpak. Tierpak tried to nod it down to Granito. It's dealt well with by the Roughnecks defense, and they'll clear up towards Ochoa, who's posting up on Tommy Meyer.
Yeah, but the 2 switches of field there from Swope Park Rangers actually spread out this Tulsa Roughnecks defense, which has been so compact.
Now Oliveira's pass, perhaps in between two players, but now he'll jump on the loose ball and charge towards the edge of the box. Lays it off for Tyler Pasher with the right foot. It's just at the feet of Jake Feener, and he will happily lay down on that one. It was a good opportunity from a slack pass out of the back.
Well, and it started, though, with high pressure from Daniel Shallowy. The Tulsa defense all just really kind of settled down. And I don't know how much of the replay we've got here to see if we can see Shallowy challenge it, and then Oliveira just jumps on the ball, as you said. Nice little cheeky pass to Pasher. I think Pasher preferred that on his left foot. He's a left-footed guy. But he hits a low, hard ball. It just, unfortunately, is right at the goalkeeper, Jake Feener.
Now the ball is headed back towards Zach Lubin. He's looking to throw it out to Christian Duke, but it would have been a tough throw for an NFL quarterback, so he'll just hold on to it and instead opts to toss it out to MLS Cup champion Meyer. That's a tough clearance attempt with the left foot, but look at that cheeky back heel from Oliveira. Was it kept in by Duke? Yes, it was. But Abidor jumps on it, and he'll play it back to Feener.
And I don't know if it's the wind that we've seen so far tonight, or if it's just his preference, but Zach Lubin opting to use his hands and his arm a lot more than he is with his feet, and could just be a confidence level with his feet on the ball. I mean, this is an easy ball to feet, but everything that needs to go farther, he's wanted to go with the hands first. The wind actually looks like it has been dying down in the last couple of minutes. You don't see the flags going as much, so hopefully that'll settle it down.
That's a great ball over towards this near side, and Pasher with a slip pass in towards Oliveira. His first touch just a little too heavy, but it's ushered out of bounds by Matthew Watley. It'll be another corner for the Rangers, and here come the big bodies again. We mentioned several corners in this first half, but they didn't create anything until that last corner just a few minutes ago.
And maybe that ball needs to go back past the back post on these corners. You've got the big bodies, you've got Gidic, you've got Meyer. Make the goalkeeper turn his hips. And you see it there.
That's exactly where it goes, and Meyer with a kind of a half-hearted flick with his left foot to try and keep that one in play, but you're exactly right, Chad. Oliveira looking for the back stick and a nod down at a chance at a loose ball.
Well, and Jake Feener, not exactly a tall guy, so it's kind of unfortunate that the first couple of corners you've had all night have gone directly to his hands. So doing something like that, where you hit that ball to the back post and then try and play it across, make him turn his hips, make him get around to the backside, and then hopefully back to the middle of the goal. And the idea being, you know, he doesn't have time to do all of that, especially given his height, because he's not going to go up and win a ball in the air.
Foul whistled against Tyler Pasher. As we'll take another look at this challenge in the air. It's been a consistent call all night long from referee Michael Laverne. If you are second to that aerial challenge and into the back of the opposing player, you're going to be whistled.
Yeah, and you better go straight up for it, otherwise you're going to get the call.
Pellegrino now whipping it up to the head of Anthony Peters. And that's a good layoff, and now Oliveira will charge forward on a 2-on-2. Cutting inside, Henry coming back to defend, but he finds Shallowy along the edge of the box. Shallowy now charging inside. He'll have a go with the left, and it's just past the far post. A good attack on the counter, and again, just inches away from finding the opener.
Well, and what Daniel Shallowy does here that's really, really good is instead of making a run directly at the back post, which is what all the defenders are looking for, he just started dropping off, and he created his own space so that when he had the ball, he had time to take a touch, get it on his left foot, and try and bend that ball at the back post.
We saw there on the replay, Jake Feener perhaps breathing a sigh of relief as he watched that one go just wide of his far post. Good tackle in midfield here from Oliveira to win possession back for the Rangers.
And we talked about it earlier, that we've seen the flashes from Kevin Oliveira. We've seen more flashes tonight. He looks like he's really kind of feeling the technical side of his game and the finding space part of his game that makes him so dangerous.
Saw it there on that Shallowy chance, just driving into space. Seen it a few times in the first half tonight. Gidic now driving up from his center back position. And he'll receive the pass again. Granito getting a start tonight. That's a nice layoff from Oliveira under pressure. And Granito charging forward, finds the left-footed Pasher. Tasty cross towards the back stick. Chris Tierpak just can't find his head on the edge of the ball. But a good cross from Tyler Pasher on the near sideline.
And Tierpak, for a guy who wears the headgear because he's had concussion problems, really loves to go up and win that header.
Good work from Mulligan. So he turned his defender inside out and found the feet of Daniel Shallowy. Shallowy showing a little bit of ball to the defender. And now Mulligan will get on the ball and try and spark this attack again. Just a few minutes left here in the first half. It's a back heel from Pasher, and he gets the return. Now the overlap from Christian Duke, plenty of numbers here in the box for the Rangers. Up towards the back post, Tierpak across the face of goal. Just no one charging in. But that was good build-up play from the Rangers. They get another chance along the back stick.
Well, and right now this game is absolutely being won in the midfield by the Swope Park Rangers. As we take a look at it, Duke with a big lofted cross. Tierpak wins it well. He's either got to direct that on goal or find Daniel Shallowy, who I think Shallowy may have gotten himself too close to Tierpak there to do much and would be better served to stay on the back post. But everything being won in the midfield right now by the combination of Kevin Oliveira and Tomas Granito and Walefi for Swope Park Rangers. And everything's coming quickly back at the Roughnecks as soon as they give the ball away.
Just a prime example right now. As a ball fizzed into the feet of Shallowy. He did well to control that. And again, a ball won in midfield, and it's straight at the defense. Dangerous tackle, but well won by Balubi. But the Rangers again with possession in their attacking third. Pressure building towards the end of the first half. Will they be able to find a goal and make it pay off? In towards the feet. Pasher in the box trying to turn on it and just couldn't swivel his hips enough to get it on goal.
And there was his preferred left foot. We mentioned it just a couple of minutes ago. If you put the ball on his left foot, he's really, really dangerous there. And he can't really turn and get his whole body around that.
Take a look at the replay here. It was a good ball in. Shallowy missed it initially. And like you said, Chad, getting on his left foot, Tyler Pasher just trying to turn his hips and put that one on frame, but just a little too quick on the turn.
Well, it's good defending from Watley, though, too, to not really give him much of an option at all.
Now a little bumping of teammates there in midfield, Oliveira and Pasher, and they play it off each other and out of bounds. Chance to relieve some pressure here for the Roughnecks, but instead they give the ball away immediately. As we move into the last minute of regular time in this first half, still scoreless, but Swope Park Rangers up in the pressure. Oliveira just couldn't find the run of Shallowy, who's in plenty of space. Instead, he'll play it wide with Mulligan. Now Oliveira back on the ball. He's seeing the ball more and more as this first half winds down. Granito now will charge forward. It's a good ball out to the left side. And Duke towards the back post. Just a little too high for Shallowy, who couldn't get a full purchase on the header. Forces Pellegrino to play it out of bounds.
The way, Carter, that Tulsa is defending with numbers is just giving so much space every time Swope Park has the ball. They're just dropping and dropping and dropping.
Will Swope Park Rangers be able to capitalize on that pressure? It's a cross up towards the head of Pasher. It's good defense in the end to just get a body underneath him on the header attempt. There's a good ball in from the far side, and looked like it was the weak foot of Oliveira on his left, and it's a tasty delivery, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's actually a little closer to the goal than Tulsa thought at first. Pasher doesn't get a lot on the head, but that's a really, really nice biting, bending, curving ball from Kevin Oliveira that kind of flicks off of Pasher's head. But
and the referee blows for halftime as Swope Park Rangers plenty of possession and plenty of opportunities. Tulsa Roughnecks defending deep, but they had their own opportunities as well. Neither team able to make the breakthrough in this first half, and we'll go to halftime with the score 0-0 here at Swope Soccer Park.
The course was awesome. It was a very tough challenge, I think, but we prevailed in the end.
You're good to climb.
Okay, I'm making my way through. Landings of Graham's not great. He'll probably come in quite hot here.
I'll probably prove it right here.
Yeah.
Wait.
If he lands on his feet, it'll be a miracle.
Terrible landing.
We actually finished the course in 12 minutes, which is
12
a new
minutes.
course record. Come on, guys, whenever you want to catch up.
They're so far behind, it's ridiculous.
It was a bit higher than I expected. The zip line, the second one was really fast. It was like really long.
More challenging than I thought. I didn't think we were gonna have to like climb and use muscles.
Yeah, it was quite a workout. I think we should have an off day tomorrow. Spinning around, he's coming in backwards. Oh, he's forward. Oh my gosh.
Going all day.
Oh! The landing. Unbelievable.
Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. They're outside the arc, a turn and a look and a goal. A fantastic goal to open up inside the 11th minute. And look who it is that was able to sneak by Mangles, and Dane Kelly adds to his lead in the amount of goals scored inside USL. Make that number 43.
Several players that have gone down, and I think you've got to keep adding minutes. Substitutions had to be more than 5.
Off the throw in, and there's the goal on the strike. And that will more than likely do it. It's Selbo.
Well, I can moan about whatever number on the board, but you can't beat a strike like that. Selbo with an amazing finish.
Out of the crowd here at One Oak. Martinez for Ochoa. Ochoa had space. It's a good run. Ball in over the top to Morgan. Morgan turns, fires, and a goal.
Well, there's hope. What a great ball over the top. And a wonderful finish from Taylor Morgan.
Welcome back to Children's Mercy Victory Field here at Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City, Missouri. It's halftime and still scoreless between the Swope Park Rangers and the Tulsa Roughnecks. I'm Carl Augustine, joined again by Chad Reynolds. Let's take a look at those first half highlights. Kevin Oliveira had an early opportunity from the set piece, just evaded the toe of Daniel Shallowy, and then shortly after that, a tricky set piece from Tomas Granito challenged the keeper, Jake Feener. Swope Park had plenty of possession, perhaps one of the better shots of the afternoon there from Daniel Shallowy, really testing Feener to tip it over. Again, plenty of crosses coming from wide areas, Chad, as the Rangers look to pile that pressure and turn it into a goal.
Well, and
Oliveira had a good opportunity as he found the feet of Tyler Pasher. And Shallowy again from the edge of the box, looking to test the keeper. Plenty of crosses from wide areas. In the end, none were telling enough to provide a goal. We went to the break. Scoreless.
USL not a league that tracks statistics like possession. So
And that was the highlights of the first half. Neither team able to provide the opening goal and goes into halftime scoreless. Stay with us as we'll be right back to bring you the second half of action.
Skelter in the midfield now as Cochran gives it away. Rio Grande Valley trying to hit them on a counter, and the long-range crack is in! The late magic from the Toros to take a 3-2 lead.
From contention in the playoffs as they were looking for a third championship. That one is in the net. What a shot. And FC Cincinnati has leveled the score. Walker with his first goal of the season.
But here comes Clemente, though, for Sacramento. The ball into the area. Here's Williams, and he's made it 2-0. Nice build up there by Sacramento off the turnover at midfield.
On set pieces. As Chad Bond, right foot, it's in! Chad Bond lifts it over the wall, tucks it in near side, and let the celebration go on as St. Louis takes it.
Very likely doing. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, nice skill.
A little bit of skill played into the middle, and it's in the back of the net. Did Greg get a touch on that one? He did. The Whitecaps draw level. Moments after Greg enters the match, and it is Whitecaps FC 2.
And welcome back to Children's Mercy Victory Field. The sun has set, and the lights are on. The score still 0-0 between Swope Park Rangers and the visiting Tulsa Roughnecks. And Chad Reynolds, we saw some good pressure from Swope Park Rangers there in the last 10 minutes. What do they need to do in this second half to come away and get a result here at home?
Well, Carter, as we talked very early on in the game, Tulsa kind of inviting pressure from Swope Park Rangers, inviting them to get up the field and kind of giving them the width. But what Swope was doing in the last 10 minutes was moving around in that space. And the more they switched the field, the more they moved through the channels, the less compact Tulsa got. More of the same in the last 10 minutes of that first half, and Swope Park Rangers will break through tonight.
A lot of good movement there towards the end of the half as the Rangers really turned up the pressure, but unable to make the breakthrough and score the game's opening goal. Conversely, Chad, Tulsa Roughnecks soaking up a lot of pressure. They did have a good 5-minute stretch there in the first half where they created a couple of really nice chances. What do they need to do in the second half to try and get a result on the road?
Well, you hate to simplify it to see more of the ball, but the Tulsa Roughnecks need to see more of the ball. They're clearly a counterattacking team. They're clearly a team that gets the ball up to Sammy Ochoa and works from there. But when you don't have the ball at all, it's really tough to get your number 9 involved in the match, and Sammy Ochoa has been a non-factor so far.
It looks like we may have had a halftime substitution as I'm seeing number 10, Kaleem, in midfield. And he appears to have come on for Adriano Pellegrino in the midfield for the Tulsa Roughnecks. I believe that is the only change at halftime, but Coach David Irving seeing some things in midfield perhaps and wanting to sort that out with a substitution. The Roughnecks will start with the ball here in the second half and immediately play it up towards the left-hand side, and Kyle McLeod, but Jimmy Mulligan, alert to the danger, is able to clear. There's confirmation over the PA of that substitution. Kaleem, the Pakistan international. There's 25 caps for Pakistan, and he'll check in the second half and try and make a difference for the men in orange. They have the ball early stages. Nice little cutback. Dangerous in the back from Anthony Peters, but I think he knew what he was doing. He was able to avoid the Swope Park Rangers defender. Now it's a turnover of possession. And again, turned over, and this time Samuel Ochoa deep in the attacking third. Trying to get across and snuffed out by Tommy Meyer, but he thought Oliveira was looking for a pass. Oliveira made the run away, and it's a giveaway, and the Roughnecks can restart their attack. Cutting inside is Villalobos, and he'll get across towards the near post. Didn't trouble Zach Lubin too much, but some early pressure from the Roughnecks as they started the second half on the front foot.
Yeah, and that's the most aggressive we've seen Tulsa so far tonight. And the big one is after Tommy Meyer wins the ball back for Swope Park Rangers, Tulsa stepping high and winning it back immediately as soon as Swope didn't capitalize on it and break out. And that's more possession. I mean, it's such a simple part of the game, and you don't always want to over-possess, but you got to have the ball to do anything.
Some high pressure again, Chad, as you're right. Perhaps a word in the ear of his players by David Irving. And now Shalloway, if he can find the run to Pasher, Pasher will have plenty of space to run onto. He sprints inside the box now with the left foot, the chip finish, and a goal! It's a fantastic counterattack, and it's 1-0 to the Swope Park Rangers.
Well, therein lies the problem with high pressure. The first time Tulsa's high pressed all night long, they lose the ball and immediately Swope breaks. It's a really nice turn by Daniel Shalloway, and a pretty simple finish from Pasher. He's got all kinds of time and all kinds of space to size it up and figure out what he wants to do. It's just a nice little chip over the top of Fleeter.
Goes over to the zoo to give some dap as Tyler Pasher able to get on the score sheet here and open the scoring for the Swope Park Rangers. Like you said, Chad, plenty of time inside the box, and it's a clever dink finish.
Well, he's known for the big, hard, powerful left-footed shot, but that's just a really cheeky finesse finish from Pasher. But you give anybody that much time and space, they should finish on the goalkeeper. Nothing the goalkeeper can do there. The defender's caught out because of the high press, and it's just really, really good stuff from Shalloway and Pasher.
And Pasher scoring his first goal as a member of the Swope Park Rangers. As after the restart, Tulsa Roughnecks trying to get that high press on again. This time they trail, however, 1-0. It was a quick goal, and good work from Daniel Shalloway, as we saw you pointing as the run was pretty obvious to everyone in attendance. It was a matter of Shalloway getting his head up and picking out the right pass.
Well, and it's a good first touch from Shalloway, and then it's a really quick turn, which allowed him to see the pass. If he takes his time and slows that down, he probably doesn't have Pasher as wide open as he was.
Good work from the target man, and a good run and finish from Tyler Pasher, and the hosts now have a 1-0 lead to try and build on. But it's the visitors with the ball as they try and build an attack. Clever little fake pass from Belubi, and he'll drive forward. His pass, however, intercepted by Tierpak. And now Tierpak trying to get it away with Walefi, and he was felled after the challenge, and now offside as Shalloway perhaps going a step too early there on the run. A wag of the finger at the near side assistant referee from the Hungarian, but did he just mistime his run there, the forward?
I think the assistant referee actually got that right. I think Anthony Peters, as he stepped to try and cut out the passing lane, actually took 2 or 3 steps up the field, and Shalloway just didn't slow his run with him. I think it's just unfortunately mistimed.
And of course, a forward will always say the pass should have come sooner. And the passer will say you should have waited a half second longer. But it doesn't matter, it was offside. And now a misplayed pass from Ochoa. And Granito will get on the ball in midfield, and there's plenty of space opening up here for the Rangers. If Oliveira can get that under control, he can't. The loose ball finds its way to Chris Tierpak. He's defended well in the end by Chenarazzo, who just ushers it out of bounds and allows his defense to reset.
Carter, where'd all this space come from?
A lot more space here in the early stages of the second half, perhaps, Chad, from that high press, as you mentioned.
I mean, now Tulsa looks compact again defensively, and kind of 9 guys behind the ball, and in their 2 lines of 4 with one man pressing. But
look at that touch from Christian Duke, and now he tries to pick out a run in the box, but his pass is intercepted. Good hold-up play initially from Ochoa, and a clattering tackle, as said, good hold-up play, but in the end, it's a loose touch, and Oliveira tracking back just got a foot in and was clattered into by the big front man for the Roughnecks. As Oliveira gets a helping hand from Ochoa, a pat on the back. It looked like a fairly innocuous challenge there. Mark Dos Santos looking on from the sidelines, his team grabbing the lead here, and he'll have a situation with which you can try and get a result. He talked to us in midweek, Chad, about they've been on this 3-game winless streak, but there's been game situations that have really counted towards that, as now Pasher again, a little lofted ball in towards the box, and Oliveira tried to cut it back. That was clever from Tyler Pasher.
And the space is just there now that wasn't there in the first half, and it's the movement off the ball that's making it all possible.
Get a second substitution of this early second half for their visiting Roughnecks, as Brady Ballou is checking in for Kyle McLeod. McLeod had a pretty good first half, you would say, for the Roughnecks. But he's replaced by the Seattle University prospect, Brady Ballou.
And McLeod having probably the best chance of the first half for the Roughnecks, also on getting in behind on kind of a ball came out on a set piece, and everybody stepped too late, and McLeod was in alone and just skied the ball over the goal, but had a good first half.
It's a corner kick now, Oliveira. That's a lofted one towards the back post. Clears everyone, but while Leffy will chase it down on the near corner flag. We'll have a second phase of this set piece as Mulligan whips to the ball. It clears everyone, and in the box, it's a fantastic hit, but it's offside. Amir Djidic up from his center back position. He looked like a center forward there as he clipped it in off the crossbar, but just straight offside.
Yeah, he tattooed that ball, but I think he's pretty clearly offside. And the assistant referee was certainly very confident in his call.
Everyone had stepped out, and yeah, it looks like he was a good yard or two offside from the replay. But in the end, it's a really good finish, and I think he'll hold that in the back of his mind next time he's in the box. That's a crunching challenge along the far sideline from Christian Duke. Now he'll have to defend again, and he does well to force a bad touch and out of bounds. But like we were saying before that substitution, Chad, the game situations haven't gone in the favor of Swope Park Rangers over this tough run, and now they've got the opening goal, and they could try and work with that.
Well, you know, Coach Mark Dos Santos told us that the result from last week in St. Louis didn't necessarily, or it certainly flattered St. Louis FC. You know, the 3-0 loss, but there was a man down for much of the match, and they hit the post twice, and if things had gone, you know, slightly differently, it's a 3-2 result, and it's a much more flattering result for Swope Park Rangers. But his big thing was that they've got a team, they're a team with an identity, and they can't get away from that identity, and when they do get away from that identity, they find the chances just not falling for them. So those opportunities and that identity has been better thus far this half.
Shallowy looking bright so far in the second half, as he found the feet of Oliveira, who looked up and had a go, but nowhere near the frame, as just skied that one off and to the right. Looked like my golf shot there.
You want to take a Jimmy Mulligan on that?
Oh, well played. We did promise that was our only Mulligan joke, but I suppose that was just too much to pass up for Chad Reynolds.
When you tee him up like that.
Yeah. Long punt from Jake Feener. It's won in midfield by the Roughnecks. The look for the halftime substitute, Kaleem, does well to maintain possession, and now they can switch play over to the right-hand side. That's a pretty loose pass. The right back position, Abidor. but he does well to press and force an equally loose pass from the Rangers.
Well, Carter, a name we've said a lot less as the match has gone on is Gus Villalobos, who seemingly is less and less involved, and the Roughnecks are having to resort more and more to trying to find the feet of Sammy Ochoa, or trying to find the chest of Sammy Ochoa, or trying to find the head of Sammy Ochoa. And with no support, right now there's just no joy to be found.
And no joy to be found on the score sheet either, as the Roughnecks find themselves trailing 1-0 after a early second half finish from Tyler Pasher on the counterattack. Now loose ball in midfield. Nicely controlled by Granito, and he gives that universal signal to his center backs to slow things down. Mulligan now along the near sideline. Good interchange of passes by Swope Park Rangers, and that's a really good tackle from Belubi, as Tierpak felt every bit of that tackle. Now that's a loose pass from Chinarazzo. Shallowy trying to get around his defender, and he'll square it across towards the penalty spot. Pasher unable to get on the end of it, and Chris Tierpak still feeling the effects of that challenge as he looked to break clear. It's a crunching tackle from Belubi. Now Tierpak will get into it, and it's a good layoff for Oliveira. Heavy first touch, though, from Tyler Pasher, but he gets it back, and another opportunity for the Rangers. And one slams off the advertising over there on the far side, right off the Twitter handle @Swope Rangers, if you want to follow what Swope is doing week in, week out. Now, much like the first half, the Roughnecks dropping off and allowing Swope Park Rangers plenty of possession. They're working their pass count up. A nice little step over move there from Oliveira to get away from his defender. A 1-2 with Pasher. And now Mulligan will come forward and charge in the box from his right back position. Tried to lay it off to Tierpak. It's not on the same wavelength there. And good work from Kaleem along this near sideline to earn a foul and relieve pressure for his team.
You know, I'd actually really like to see a shot from there, from Jimmy Mulligan, especially either one time or after he takes the first touch and kind of rounds the defender. He immediately starts looking past, but maybe be a little less selfish or less unselfish and take a shot and challenge the goalkeeper.
Take a look here as Kaleem did well to just draw Granito in, earn the foul, and relieve some pressure that had been building up on the Roughnecks defensively. And now here they are with the ball. They'll have to have the ball now as they need a goal to get a result here in Kansas City. Jimmy Mulligan letting that one run, and in the end he does take it back around. Dangerous ball along the sideline, but a clever touch and a turn from Tierpak. And now he'll look for Pasher over the top. It's a good ball, and can Pasher get onto it? It's got plenty of speed, but it's good recovery from Matthew Watley. He'll usher it out for a corner, but look at that, from end to end in about 6 seconds or so. Mulligan along the goal line defensively, all the way up to Tyler Pasher for a corner kick. Take a look here. Didn't see the turn from Tierpak, which was beautiful. Got his defender in all sorts of problems, and then a good ball over the top, but Pasher just couldn't quite get past Watley. But a corner now, and Pasher towards the back stick, headed down by Meyer, but adjudged to, is it a foul or did it go out of bounds?
I think the AR is saying that went over the end line before it ever made it into play. We got another substitution now coming in for the Tulsa Roughnecks. We see Taylor Morgan, who's another forward, number 8, coming in. He scored the goal, Tulsa's only goal in the match against Swope Park Rangers back in April, and he will be replacing number 12, Belubi, who's been fairly active in the second half, but also probably a clear offensive for more of a defensive midfielder substitution.
Yeah, it does look like an offensive substitution here, and perhaps not one that Mark Dos Santos and the Swope Park Rangers would like to see, as you're right, Chad, he did score the only goal in Tulsa's 2-1 loss against the Rangers in Tulsa earlier this year, so Coach David Irving will be looking for him to replicate that So they look to grab an away goal here and claw back a result from being 1-0 down. Got an hour gone here in Kansas City. Just a half hour to go, and the Rangers lead 1-0. It's good work along the sideline. Kaleem with a nice touch. Finds Ochoa, who is actually offside. Perhaps a bit of lazy attacking play there from the forward.
Well, and this is going to be really intriguing, or I'm really intrigued to see what this new lineup and this new kind of personnel matchup does for Tulsa up top. You've got Ochoa, you've got Kaleem, who's a forward and a midfielder. You've got Morgan, who just came in. And when Kaleem first came on, it looked like he was playing as a second striker up top with Ochoa. But now we also see Morgan in there.
Yeah, it looks like Morgan has joined the attack, and Villalobos has dropped back into the position vacated by Belubi leaving the field. We will see how that transpires through the remainder of this game. Well cut out by Amir Djidic, but second ball won by the Roughnecks. And now Oliveira breaking away with it, but he'll slow things down. Walefi into the feet of Granito. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. USLsoccer.com. Ball finds its way all the way back to the goalkeeper, Zach Lubin, and he'll punt it up towards the head of Shallowy, who I think was always second favorite to win that header against Anthony Peters. Now Tierpak, who looks to have shrugged off the challenge earlier on from Belubi, finds Mulligan, and now some numbers forward for the Rangers. Shallowy looking for the return to Mulligan. In the end, it's well cut out. Good idea from Shallowy, just couldn't find the right pass. But you can see how quickly this team can turn from defense to attack.
I tell you, with Tierpak and Pasher and Oliveira and Shallowy, who's not slow, there's so much pace in the front 5 or 6 for Swope Park Rangers.
These fullbacks have some pace on them as well, as we see Christian Duke getting forward from his left back position, and Jimmy Mulligan inching ever forward from his right back position. Now just a little too heavy from the layoff from Oliveira.
That was almost too clever from Kevin Oliveira. Shallowy, I think, was waiting for a touch kind of back to feet, and Oliveira tried to play him through. It was a really, really clever idea. And if he and Shallowy are on the same page, Shallowy's in on goal.
Now Granito charging forward, faking the shot. Drew 2 defenders in, but had to retreat and get it back to Chris Tierpak on the wing. Tierpak drops it back with Mulligan himself. Now gets a nice turn. Oliveira now shielding off one defender. Crunching tackle from Villalobos, who said he got the ball, but referee Michael Laverne disagrees.
Kevin Oliveira does a really, really good job of putting himself between the ball and the defender and drawing those types of fouls. That may not be a foul. I actually think Villalobos got a foot on that ball, but
a second look at it here.
But Oliveira's got himself in a good enough position that it looks, at least to the referee, like Villalobos had to go through him.
Now Christian Duke getting along the far sideline, tries to get a cross in along the ground. It's cut out by Matthew Watley and lofted up towards the substitute Morgan, who tried to win his first header. The Rangers quickly restart this one. A couple of 1-2s down the field, and while Leffy will have a go, didn't look to have any steam behind that one. It's blocked regardless by Henry. And a handball against Mulligan. I think the Rangers might actually take that handball because Roughnecks could have been away.
And by calling that foul and then giving Swope Park Rangers time to essentially step on the ball and take it away, by the time the Roughnecks got going, there were 6 or 7 Swope Park Rangers players behind the ball and 6 or 7 Roughnecks players on the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah, usually you'll see a player kind of complain when they get a handball called against him, but Mulligan, I think, was pleasantly surprised to hear that whistle, and he just ran back into position. And here he is with the clearance attempt just along the sideline, managed to keep it in play and allow the Rangers to get back in their shape defensively.
Almost no high press right now. from Swope Park Rangers, which is something different than we saw in the first half.
Perhaps with that lead, they're content to allow Tulsa to move up the field, and like we've said, they have plenty of pace to catch him on the counter. Here is Tulsa trying to get in the attacking formation. Morgan looking for Kaleem along the left-hand side. His pass intercepted, but Morgan finds himself on the ball again, while Leffy now with the tackle. And Granito, oh, that's a slip turn to get away from the challenge of Henry. And now Tyler Pasher will try and move forward. Tries to find the run of Shallowy, but that is asking a lot of the forward. And that has been taken out of the area. Some sloppy goalkeeping work there from Jake Feener. As really, he had plenty of time to get on that ball ahead of Shallowy, but you have to credit the young forward for the Rangers applying the pressure and causing the mistake.
Well, Shallowy presses that. I mean, it looked like off the foot of Pasher, that ball was just going to run away from everybody. And Shallowy, by forcing Feener to go out and get it with his feet, Feener not far enough out off his line, clearly not swift of feet, doesn't do a good job of getting there. Kind of takes a weird angle and takes a weird route, and then by the time he does get there, just takes it out with his body.
You can see clearly there. Good job from our guys in the truck. So they're able to get the good angle on that one. It clearly goes out of the box. It'll be a free kick on this near side. Plenty of options here for the Rangers. And it's Oliveira just getting it off to Pasher, who will charge in the box and he'll have a go with his left foot. Took a flick and out of bounds for a corner kick. You know, maybe it does end up as a corner, but maybe not the best worked set piece from that good position.
No, in a spot like that, you've got to do something to challenge the defense and kind of the layoff. And I know they love Tyler Pasher's left foot, but that's not the way to go there. The short corner or the short set piece, way less challenging than just whipping a ball at the near post and making the defense make a play.
And perhaps telegraphed as well. The defense able to read it and get in ahead and block the attempted shot from Pasher, but we'll have a go here from the corner kick. It's a good delivery and a good header, but cleared off the line. It's a really good corner kick. Wasn't sure, I think Jedich got on the end of it. They'll go to it again. Keeper spills it, still loose in the box. Pasher trying to get on the end of it. Ochoa does well to race clear, and a foul against the Rangers. Nervy moments in the back for the Roughnecks. It's cleared off the line, and how close was that to 2-0?
Well, Jedich with a nice head. Coach Mark Dos Santos told us he's the best center back they've got in the air. You see it a couple of times tonight, and especially there. He wins the header, and Henry, I believe, is the guy standing in the back post. It actually gets caught between Henry's legs for a second. Comes straight down. Yeah, it's Henry.
Wow.
Falls right between his legs, and he's able to clear it away. And then the second ball almost found Jedich as well. Right there, it hops right over his head and then is cleared away.
Hint of handball perhaps on that second ball in. So it got past the goalkeeper, but you got to give credit to Henry on the line, in between the legs. I think he'll be making some bold claims to his teammates later on. They're able to go ahead and get a result from this. It's a really unorthodox clearance, and now a ball whipped in from the set piece and cleared away by Jimmy Mulligan, and now the Roughnecks could pile all their big bodies forward and attempt to tie this one up with their own corner kick right in front of their traveling fans as well.
And that ball from Villalobos is far more dangerous than it has any right to be, just because it kind of hangs up there and is on a weird angle. And it's well cleared by Swope Park, but that is a Zach Lubin kind of caught.
Now Lubin comes out to claim that one. That's well claimed under the pressure. High pointed that ball like a receiver, and you can see why the coaching staff raves about the big body of Zach Lubin on that one.
Well, and that's what he couldn't do on the last ball. The last ball kind of coming right at him at an angle. He can't really commit to it because he's too many bodies in the way. And that ball, he's just easy to come out and win, and as you said, high point.
And Tomas Granito immediately with the hands to his head on that one as he misplayed the pass and then had to wait for a second to see if Christian Duke could save it from going out of bounds. Could not, and in the end, it's a throw in for the Roughnecks, but they will just drift this one out of bounds and it'll wind up for a goal kick. Some end-to-end stuff here in the second half as the Swope Park Rangers inches away from making this a 2-0 ball game. Cleared off the line by Henry. And then on the other end, a good set piece chance for the Roughnecks. Unable to get anything on goal. Dos Santos looking for Swope Park Rangers' first win since they last played the Roughnecks. Now a tense battle in midfield, and Granito's crowded out by a double team. Perhaps a little too cute possession there, and shot away from Taylor Morgan, blocked by Mulligan. Second shot this time from Villalobos, who dropped back into his midfield role. He had a go, but it's just wide, and that'll allow the Rangers to make their first substitution.
It's Johnny Grant, it appears, is coming on, who's an out-and-out defender. Typically a wingback, but he's a defender coming on for number 50, Chris Tierpak, who's had a nice match tonight. He and Jacob Pasher have given problems to the Tulsa Roughnecks all night long with their pace on the wing. Johnny Grant, more of a defensive-minded guy. If he does play in that same wide spot, he's certainly going to keep more of the game in front of him and be expected to be more of a defensive presence than Chris Tierpak was.
22-year-old from Toronto making his third appearance for the Rangers this season. He came over from FC Montreal. We'll see what Johnny Grant can do in a wide attacking role, as it looks like he is slotted right into where Chris Tierpak was, and they'll immediately test him out with a long ball, and Johnny Grant wins the first header attempt of the game. Shallowy with a good turn and draws the foul. Henry didn't like it, but looked like a clear foul there after Shallowy had tricked him on the turn.
And you know, Carter, with Johnny Grant coming on, Coach Dos Santos told us the first thing that they need to do is they need to get to a point where they don't concede a goal. And that's the exact kind of substitution. You put a guy who's an outside back in as your kind of wing forward and tell him, hey, keep the game in front of you. Keep the play in front of you. Your defense first. Support the attack when you can. But let's make sure, first and foremost, they keep that 0 up on the score sheet.
Swope Park Rangers looking for their first clean sheet of the season. Like you said, Chad, and perhaps Johnny Grant, another big body to help defend on set-piece situations. As we see an offside flag raised by the near side AR. I believe it was Shallowy just straying offside. And the Roughnecks will be able to make another substitution.
It's Jason Carpio coming on for Henry. Henry, who's been active and been an important part of the midfield, but again, it's another offensive type substitution. Get as many numbers in and forward as you can if you're David Irving.
Jason Carpio checking in for the Roughnecks. Still trailing 1-0. Chinarazzo took a nice touch off the chest there to control. Gets a cross in towards the near post, and that is a clever pass from Jimmy Mulligan under pressure to allow Johnny Grant to try and roll away. And some good footwork from Johnny Grant. You can hear the crowd like that one as he got around 2 defenders. And now Shallowy's return is just a tad heavy, but some fancy footwork from the substitution. Johnny Grant coming in and billed as a defender, but you can see perhaps some of the attacking skill he's got.
Turns one defender, cuts through the other, and this is the nice pass. You'd actually almost like to see him take that straight to the corner himself rather than playing it into the middle to Shallowy. He's got all sorts of space if he goes, but Daniel Shallowy is your goal scorer. He is your assist leader, so.
Nice Ronaldo chop there from Johnny Grant. Now under some pressure, Meyer will just drop it back to Lubin. 15 minutes to go here in regular time. Can the Rangers hold on to this clean sheet? As Jimmy Mulligan did really well there, and he's really come on in this second half, I think, Chad. And done a great job from his right back position. He did well there to shield off the defender, earn the foul, and even without the foul, came away with the ball.
Yeah, and you know, Zach Lubin kind of apologized to him, kind of patted himself in the chest and said, hey, that's my fault. I should have called you off that earlier. I mean, not put you into that position, but Jimmy Mulligan doing very well to just make sure no matter what, that defender or that forward had no way to get through that ball to him. Through him to that ball.
One of those. There goes Lubin up towards the head of Johnny Grant, and that's something that the the 6'2" number 90 can help you out with is target those long balls up to him. Look at Johnny Grant. Done well since coming on over the last 10 minutes or so. Now Christian Duke looking to get things moving forward. Oliveira now charging the box. Good step over. Can he cut it back? No, he just can't quite get his foot around it on the end line. Ran out of space there in the end, Kevin Oliveira, but he's been all over the pitch here this match. There's Tyler Pasher trying to play him through.
Well, and when Kevin Oliveira has a game like he's having tonight, and Tyler Pashers has a game like he's having tonight, and Daniel Shallow has been a big part of the offense tonight, you sometimes forget that the USL all-time leading goal scorer is sitting here in the stands with an injury at the moment, Dane Kelly. And when Dane Kelly comes back, you can see why this offense can be dangerous, because there's so much speed and there's so much experience, skill in a guy like Dane Kelly that if all the pieces are clicking, Swope Park Rangers can score goals in bunches.
It's a good cut out there from Gidic, who's had a strong first start in the center of defense. But you're right, Chad. Coach Mark Dos Santos has told us how much this team really misses Dane Kelly, just a proven goal scorer. And Shallowy's done well tonight, but just different pedigree when you have Dane Kelly coming in, banging in the goals. All-time leading goal scorer in USL. They're really hoping he can get back to action soon. Now some good interplay along the edge of the box and going along the touchline there, and an appeal for a penalty as it looked like Christian Duke might have just gotten ahead of the goalkeeper there.
Well, and I think what the official is telling Daniel Shallowy, who went to go complain, but I think what he's saying is that Duke can touch that ball out of bounds and had no chance on goal. But the fact of the matter is, if the keeper makes contact with his legs there, if the keeper fouls him, it's a foul. Whether he's got a chance on goal or not, it's a foul and it's a penalty kick. And that's a tough one to call. I can see, it looks like his hands do catch Christian Duke's feet. You can see the referee's case, but man, that looks like a foul to me.
That's a tough one. Perhaps Duke going to ground a little too easily, but just got ahead of the keeper. And I think wouldn't have too many complaints there. Christian Duke getting a touch, perhaps could have been a penalty for Swope Park Rangers.
Well, it's fine. It's not a red card. It's not dog-so, but he didn't deny a clear goal-scoring opportunity, but he did foul the attacker in the box.
It's a strong punch from Lubin. Now headed back into play, and Ochoa can have a chance to get it on goal, and he bangs one home. And that's an equalizer out of nowhere for the Roughnecks. A second ball into the box, and Ochoa on the turn fires it into the far post, and out of nowhere it's 1-1.
And that's why you can't give a guy like Sammy Ochoa a chance like that. He's been a non-factor for 99% of the evening so far, and he finds himself in the area with the ball at his feet about 12 yards out, kind of at a weird angle. But some of those weird angles are the toughest ones for goalkeepers. He just powers that ball in past Zach Lubin.
He absolutely slams this one home on the far post, as initially the ball was punched out by Lubin, and then at the second phase of that free kick, header finds its way to Ochoa, who just managed to stay onside and eluding the challenge of Tommy Meyer and the outstretched arms of Zach Lubin, is able to find the equalizer for Tulsa.
And I think the ball just kind of one-hopped weird on Tomas Granito, who had the first chance at it. And again, you give a guy like Sammy Ochoa an inch, he's going to take a yard, and he certainly did right there.
It's a wonderful goal for Ochoa, who's in red-hot form, as we mentioned earlier. That's a dangerous challenge, but advantage played. Up towards Shallowy, who has a clear header. Can't tell if he got ahead to that or if Peters was able to get back and defend. But Sammy Ochoa, back-to-back braces, and he adds another one to his tally tonight.
And you said it, Carter, red-hot form. Reigning USL Player of the Week. Done almost nothing all match, and then one chance, one goal.
That's the mark of a true goal scorer. Had a good year with the Seattle Sounders back in 2012, 8 goals and 18 appearances. Finds his way to Tulsa, and are they happy? And that is a clever pass around the corner. Oliveira finding Shallowy, who's charging in one-on-one, trying to get past the defender, and now he fires it in, and Pasher can fire in the rebound! And just up the other side of the pitch, Tyler Pasher on the double, and it's 2-1 to Swope Park Rangers.
And we're going to need to take another look at this, but two things happen on this goal, to my eye, live in the play. The defender gives Daniel Shallowy just too much time and space to take a shot. He knows he's looking for the shot. And then the goalkeeper, Jake Feener, cannot spill this ball. And if you do spill it, you certainly can't spill it right there, right out in front. Parry that ball away, do something with it. That's frankly a bad spill by the goalkeeper. And it's too easy for Tyler Pasher. All he's got to do is tap it in.
And look at the desire from Pasher. There's a great camera angle to show that he is onside, as Pasher able to sprint past Chenarazzo, and he's able to get on the double and provide a 2-1 lead here, as just moments ago Sammy Ochoa pulled back an equalizer for the Roughnecks, but Swope Park Rangers kept their head up, and a chance carved out from the foot of Kevin Oliveira. It was a fantastic pass from midfield. Oliveira around the corner finds the feet of Daniel Shallowy, and then, like you said, Chad, too much time for Shallowy on the edge of the box, rips a shot and spilled by the keeper, and it's Pasher alert to the rebound to give the Swope Park Rangers their second lead of the night. But now here's on the other end, and Zach Lubin has to come up with a save, as it's Chenarazzo from his left back position whipping in across. It's a free header on the 6, and what an opportunity to make this game 2-2 if not for Zach Lubin.
Well, and Lubin does well to make the save. I mean, it's a tough header because he's coming one way and then he's got to come back across the goal to make the save. But how is everybody that open in the middle of the area? Yeah, it's a good save
there from Lubin, and now he's tested from this corner, punches it away, and Pasher able to get just the slightest of touches with the head. And now it's punted up towards Zach Lubin again, and a foul whistled against the onrushing Sammy Ochoa, I think it was, but Zach Lubin trying to come off his line to claim that ball floated in towards the 6. Perhaps lucky to get a foul call from the referee. Take a look here at that opportunity from the corner kick. First ball in, good punch from Lubin, and just a slight header from Tyler Pasher, and then the ball lofted back in. And maybe a bit lucky for Lubin. Perhaps he should have punched there.
Yeah, he's got to come out stronger. He came out, and what he did right earlier, where he kind of top pointed that ball like the receiver, he did not do. He's just got to come out and either catch that at its highest point or just get it the heck out of there with a fist.
Substitution for Swope Park Rangers as Kevin Oliveira makes his mark on the match, creating that second goal from midfield. He's replaced by Natsel Selbel, and of course Natsel Selbel got the game-winning goal versus Tulsa in that first match, and so he'll look to continue his form against the Roughnecks. And immediately he's into the game with an attempt towards Johnny Grant, trying to battle with Chenarazzo. Good work there from Gary Chenarazzo. His grandfather actually played for Rangers in Scotland in the 1950s. Now the Roughnecks, through Chenarazzo's defending, are able to move into attack. It's Carpio along the far sideline, just kept in play from Tyler Pasher, and now Shallowy will cut across the midfield, wait for some of his attacking players to join him. Selbel does well to evade the challenge of Kaleem. In with Shallowy, and good work from the forward and Selbel to hold up play and allow their team to get back into attacking shape. Now just a bit too much shown on the ball from Shallowy, and it's able to be tackled away in midfield by Villalobos. Bit of a slip in the back from Amir Djidic, who's adjudged to have been fouled by Taylor Morgan.
Carter, you see Zach Lubin there employing his team. Guys, settle it down. You saw him kind of recycle the ball and just hold possession there on that last attack, and that's really what more of what they need to be doing. But then as soon as Daniel Shalloway tried to take a man on his own, now he's taking 2 guys on, and they give the ball away, and suddenly Tulsa's coming right back at him. Lubin just saying, hey, let's just slow this down. Let's hold the ball. Let's keep possession. Let's not give up another one like we did a minute ago.
Just under 5 minutes remaining. This offside flag is raised in normal time here. And Chad, they were unable to keep that clean sheet. They're still looking for their first clean sheet of the season, but they were able to jump back and rebound from giving away a pretty cheap goal to level the score at 1 and go ahead 2-1. So plenty to play for here still with 5 minutes to remain.
Well, it's one of the biggest cliches in soccer that the 5 minutes after a goal are the most important 5 minutes. And you just saw kind of Tulsa relax for a second, and immediately Swope Park Rangers strike right back.
Can they hold on here, gain an all-important win, and move up that Western Conference? As Nonsel Selbel did well initially, but then a loose pass, gifting possession to the Roughnecks. Generazzo up towards Kalim. Good work from Mulligan, and he'll just hoof it forward. No nonsense defending there. Not room for nonsense with under 4 minutes to go.
And Swope Park Rangers now dropping back into an almost 5-man back line, with Johnny Grant kind of becoming an extra wingback.
In towards Morgan, and he's trying to muscle off Meyer. Good defending, though, in the end from Tommy Meyer, and that was a really good opportunity to cross, whipped in from the right. There's a good touch initially from Morgan, but just couldn't out-muscle Tommy Meyer.
Tommy Meyer is such a solid presence back there. I mean, he's a guy who played 50-plus matches in Major League Soccer, and as you alluded to earlier tonight, won an MLS Cup, started and played 90 minutes in an MLS Cup for the Los Angeles Galaxy. He's the veteran presence. He's the guy who keeps kind of everything calm. And I think he and Omar Gidic have been fantastic tonight together, and very kind of well-organized and connected as the center back pairing. And you can't really blame the goal on either of those 2 guys. So it's been a good night for the back line.
Some defending here to do, as charging forward, it was Jason Carpio trying to rip from just outside the box. He had his defenders on the heels. Just couldn't get that one on frame, but you mentioned good work from Gidic and Meyer so far tonight, but they have some defending left to do in this one to come away and get a win. Lubin blasts this one forward. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Swope Park Rangers as they go on another long road trip, and we won't be able to see them at home until June 8th. So we've got a trip out west with Rio Grande Valley, Sacramento, and PT2 before returning home on June 8th on a Wednesday versus Rio Grande Valley FC.
Carter, every weeknight home game here at Swope Soccer Village, $1 hot dog night.
Is that true?
I will be here.
That's quite enticing. I'm going to be here for the hot dogs. Sounds like from the truck we're hearing word of 4 minutes going to be added on here, so perhaps not the number that the Rangers would have wanted to hear, but 3 goals in the second half does make sense. Tomas Granito, that actually works out, and then that's a very good ball from Walefi, and a first-time ball in towards Selbel. And can Selbel race into the box with this one? He can. A cutback now to get the goalie on his feet. Selbel still, and just fires it right at the goalie. Still in the box with Tyler Pasher, and now he will take it smartly towards the corner flag. A good opportunity for Nonsel Selbel. Perhaps he just dwelled on the ball a little too long.
It's really, really nice stuff from Nonsel Selbel, but maybe just shoot the first time.
And Tomas Granito heard you say shoot, and he went ahead and did it. Perhaps giving away possession there from a really tough angle to shoot from. As we move in ever closer towards the 90th minute. And shouts of handball from the crowd, but nothing given here, and it's flicked up towards Morgan. Christian Duke tries to clear, and it's a bad ball from Abidor. And Shalloway can get on it, and now Offside from Nassau Selbel, just couldn't hold his run. The back line was all over the place there, but just straight a little too far ahead. And that will allow the Swope Park Rangers to make another substitution here. Looks like
Ezra Armstrong.
Ezra Armstrong coming on. Yet to be in the 18 so far this season. He is in the 18 today, and he'll make his Swope Park Rangers debut, and he comes on for 2-goal scorer Tyler Pasher. Almost certainly to be our man of the match tonight. A great effort from Tyler Pasher all night long, grabbing the 2 goals.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the plot, but spoiler alert, Tyler Pasher's the man of the match.
Well deserved if that is the case. Stay tuned post-game to find out for sure. Checking in, Ezra Armstrong, the 17-year-old from Nashville, Tennessee. Wonderful moment for him as he's able to make his debut for the Swope Park Rangers in an attempt to hold on to all 3 points here as we move into added time at Children's Mercy Victory Field. Ochoa now in the corner. He'll find Chenarazzo. Tries to get the cross in. Headed away by Duke. Just under the feet. And now a chance to counter, but Selbel unable to get onto it. Chenarazzo again on the ball. The Roughnecks piling everyone forward here, desperately trying to find that equalizing goal. The clearance from Walefi finds its way to Armstrong. He gets his first touch as a professional player. Slides it into Selbel. It's a clever pass, and he can get a return. And now Armstrong charging into the box. And he tries to squirt across the face. It's a good ball. Just can't find the feet of Shallowy. Perhaps a bit of youthful naivety there to maybe not slow things down and go for the corner.
Yeah, but you know what? You're a 17-year-old kid making your pro debut. I don't really begrudge the kid that there.
Now Tommy Meyer with some defending, and he does well. Finds the chest of Johnny Grant.
Carter, can I tell you how old it makes me feel to realize that Ezra Armstrong, the son of U.S. Soccer Hall of Famer Desmond Armstrong, is 17 years old? I had a Desmond Armstrong poster on my wall when I was a kid, and his son is out here making his professional debut tonight.
Now a rip from long distance, and that ball was moving, so good work from Zach Lubin to get his hands in front of that. He didn't have any preconceived notions of trying to hold that one on. He just knocked it down in front of himself and kept it in play. Now Nassau Selbel whistled offside, and another substitution being made. This time Jacob Van Compernol checking in for Daniel Shallowy. That's a pretty clear defense for offense substitution. Chad, what'd you make of Daniel Shallowy tonight?
I thought Daniel Shallowy did some really, really good things tonight. Wasn't actively involved in a lot of chances in the second half, but late in the first half especially, the ball found his feet and good things happened. And then, you know, I guess he did create Pasher's goal. He carried the ball across the box and got the shot. So Shallowy not going to end up on the score sheet himself. But
yeah, I believe he got the assist.
Oh, he got the assist on the first goal.
On the first goal, and then you're right, he did provide the shot that led to the second. And now that's a tough header charging back Granito. He did well to get it away from goal. Ochoa now with the cross, and that's a flick and a great save from Lubin. What a save to maintain the game at 2-1. Sammy Ochoa with a tasty cross, and it looked for all the world that was going to wind up in the back of the net, if not for the outstretched foot of Zach Lubin. And now Nassau Selbel absolutely tricking the defender and putting it through his legs, and Hitler in the foul. And what a save from Zach Lubin on the other end to keep this thing 2-1.
I know it's hockey playoff season, but that is the old kick save and a beaut from Zach Lubin. This ball barely flicked and touched. Wow. Stays up, keeps his weight high. Look at this ball. Man, his hands were there too. That's a really, really class save from Zach Lubin.
And that's an excellent flick attempt from Anthony Peters. Initially, when Sammy Ochoa was delivering that ball, you would have said you liked him in the box to be on the end of it, but he delivers a peach of a cross. And Anthony Peters surely thought he scored, if not for, like you said, a kick save and a beaut. And now Roughnecks going at it again. Perhaps emboldened by that chance just a moment ago, Lubin has to do another diving save, and that'll be the last action of the game. And what a way to hold on to this thing. At the end of the match, Zach Lubin tested several times, and he comes up huge as 2 goals from Tyler Pasher allow the Swope Park Rangers to stop their 3-game losing streak and come away with a 2-1 victory.
It was a well-deserved hug for Zach Lubin there from Jimmy Mulligan. And I thought both of those guys were excellent tonight. I thought Zach Lubin, not really anything he can do on the goal, but commanded the area well, controlled his back line well, and Jimmy Mulligan, especially in the second half, had a good match.
Mark Dos Santos was looking forward to perhaps a clean sheet. The Rangers unable to grab it, but they were able to go out and grab the 3 points thanks to Tyler Pasher, who got 2 goals, and I believe is going to be our yes, he is. Tonight's man of the match, presented by Courtyard Overland Park Metcalf, is Tyler Pasher. The Courtyard Overland Park Metcalf congratulates Tyler Pasher, tonight's man of the match.
2 goals tonight from Tyler Pasher, and was a menace all night long up and down the left side. If it was a really good chance coming from Swope Park Rangers, Tyler Pasher was involved.
See here is a good layoff from Shallowy, and then Pasher with a clever dink finish. How calm was that?
Well, like we said at the time, if you give a guy that much time, but even then to have the wherewithal to see, hey, there's 2 defenders on rushing, the goalkeeper's coming out, my easy thing is the dink over the top.
And Cristiano Ronaldo's celebration from the 2 of those forward players, and now they combined again. It's a great ball from Oliveira to get Shallowy forward, and Tyler Pasher just alert to the spilled chance from the keeper.
That's smart attacking. That's a guy who's showing heart late, especially having just given up the goal, to be there, put yourself in a position to be on the spot when that ball gets spilled.
He was able to rush past Gary Chenarazzo, and Tyler Pasher's 2 goals propel him to the man of the match position tonight. Of course, we talked about it in the game, but the next SPR home match against the Rio Grande Valley FC coming to you Wednesday, June 8th at Swope Soccer Village at 7:30 p.m. A little bit of a layoff here on the 3-game road trip for Swope Park Rangers, and this will be a nice platform for the Rangers to take on that road trip.
Well, we said it right before the game. 3 points tonight for either of these teams puts you right back in the thick of the Western Conference in the USL. And that's exactly where Swope Park Rangers find themselves now. With a big road tilt coming, or a big road trip coming, with 3 Western Conference opponents, including a couple of teams that are near the top of the table or right there in that pack with them. Swope Park Rangers, yes, coming off that 3-game losing streak, but now in a position to make themselves a part of the conversation in the Western Conference.
Depending on all the results, they can move up to 8th or perhaps even 6th place, 5th place or so with the win tonight. So good work from the Swope Park Rangers. They grab all 3 points here as they go and celebrate with the members of the zoo here at Swope Soccer Village. Well, for everyone in the truck, and for Chad Reynolds, I'm Carter Augustine. What a fantastic end to the game here tonight as the Swope Park Rangers were able to stop their 3-game losing streak thanks to 2 goals from Tyler Pasher. And they come away 2-1 victors here. It's full-time Swope Park Rangers 2, Tulsa Roughnecks 1.